see Tiger Maximus on Facebook, or you can call 352-266-2859 for any questions.
All right, 5 minutes after 8 o'clock. Yes, that Tiger Maximus is something to see. I just the amazingness of God's creation is never ceases to amaze me. That's a kind of awkward way of saying that, but anyway, it's just when you're that close to a tiger, as it is over at ears, right?
Yeah. Maximus.
It's just, I mean, you realize that you have no chance. If that animal decided that you were dinner, you would be dinner. There's no way around it, right?
You'd be his dinner.
Either that or you would need blood. See, I'm trying to figure out a segue to get to Galen. See, Galen Unold is on the phone from LifeSouth Community Blood Center. Good morning, Galen.
Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are you?
Pretty good. Where are you right now?
Just on the interstate, heading to Gainesville.
Heading to Gainesville. All right. How's the traffic today?
So far so good. I haven't seen any Canadians, so that's always
So today's first day, opening day of baseball? Is that right?
It should, and I'm sincere. This should be a national holiday. I mean, to me, this is more important than a lot of the holidays that we have. I think today should be a national holiday.
So are you going to do anything special? Are you going to get a hot dog or something?
I actually grilled last night for hot dogs, so I started getting the mood. I woke up this morning, started talking to the wife about the Red Sox lineup.
The wife.
And here's the problem. The problem is the Red Sox are opening up against maybe the worst team in Major League Baseball, and against the Rays, and they may lose. The Rays may lose 100 games this year. The payroll for the Rays is $67 million. Right? You think, oh, that's a lot. Well, the Red Sox payroll is $267 million, and the average payroll in Major League Baseball is $200 million. So it kind of tells you where the Rays are at. They're in the worst stadium.
Yeah.
They have the worst team in Major League Baseball this year. They're going to lose 100 games, and that's disappointing. So they just decided to do a fire sale, and I know there are people in this area who care about the Rays, but it's really difficult. And then you go south of Miami, and if there is a team worse in Major League Baseball than the Rays, it's the Marlins. and the Marlins may lose 100 games too, and it's sad because it's a brand new stadium that the area around them paid for. And so once they got the stadium, then the owner sold the team and just decided they're going to dump payroll so they could go back to making money. And I just think it's really, really sad.
So what is your message to the fans of those two teams? What is your message?
Don't go. Don't go.
Don't go.
Send a message to these guys and say, no, listen. How does a fan send a message to the team?
Right.
And I am sincere as can be. You send that message by saying, I'm not going to support a product that is this substandard. This is going to be a substandard product for at least another 3 years. So if I'm a fan, and trust me, it would be really difficult. But thankfully, my team is one of the greatest organizations on earth. But the only way you're going to be able to send any kind of message to ownership and tell them to actually invest in their team is by saying, hey, I'm not going. I'm not going to buy season tickets. I'm not going to buy a hot dog at the stadium. I'm not going. That's the message you send.
Okay.
And that's the only way you can do it.
It's hard for me to argue sports. It's hard for me to argue sports, but my argument actually comes from you. I have an argument for you. Or not a disagreement necessarily, just maybe something to push back a little bit. Because from Galen Unold, I learned how much a true sports person like yourself disdains the fair weather fan. The fan that jumps on the bandwagon only when things start going well. So if that's true, then it should also be true that you admire fans that stick with their team even if they're doing poorly.
Yes.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the difference. And I love that you remember that. The difference is most of the time when you go into a season, you're like, you know what? If we get a break here, if this person has a great season, we have a chance of winning. This team, their opening day lineup has zero chance of winning. They have zero chance of having a 500 record. They have zero chance of making the playoffs. Look at the lineup. I mean, they got rid of their 3 best players. The only guy on this team that would probably start on another Major League Baseball roster is their pitcher, Chris Archer, and he's pitching tonight. After that, I'm serious. They're a bunch of AAA guys, and they're going young, and I get it. Maybe Kirk Meyer's great. He's their center fielder, but he's going to be traded by the end of the year. It's really disappointing because I think the Rays were going in the right direction. And then they decided that, you know what, we can't sustain this because we're never going to get we're never going to get out from under this baseball field. And until they get a baseball stadium down there that's worth a damn, they're going to suck.
Wait a minute. I thought they were building one across the bay.
They haven't started yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that's been approved. So, because, the local people don't want to be taxed for it, and I don't blame them. I think if you're an owner of a team, part of being an owner of the team is figuring out where your team's going to play and to pay for it. I hate these publicly funded stadiums. The math doesn't work. The finances doesn't work.
Okay.
So,
and that's why the Yankee Stadium didn't make it here.
Ybor City.
We didn't want it publicly funded.
Ybor City is where they want to put the new one.
Yeah. I had heard that, but and I think they have a land deal, but they got to figure out the funding. And
okay.
The people of Pinellas County and Hillsborough County and Pasco County and all those other counties don't want to pay for it. And I don't blame them. Especially if it's a team that's going to lose 100 games.
All right, here's what it says. This is on Sports Illustrated's website. I know you hate Sports Illustrated. The Rays.
I don't hate. Wait, when did I hate Sports Illustrated?
Oh, I thought you did. Oh, you hate ESPN.
Yeah.
There's one of these sports people that I've quoted you don't like. But anyway, this is what it says. The Rays have officially announced plans to move the team's home ballpark to Tampa, because right now they're in St. Pete, as you know. Right. Let's see. At a press conference, this is February 9th of this year, Rays owner Stuart Sternberg said the team intends to move to Ybor City, blah, blah, blah. Then it goes on to explain to the rest of the world where that is. I'll skip that. The Rays still don't know how much money it will take to build the new ballpark. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They haven't secured funding, so it's just an idea right now. So, again, I don't like it when the Marlins have done it 5 or 6 times, but at least the Marlins have won 2 World Series. But the Rays have to figure out who they are and what they're going to do. But to me, losing 100 games and knowing, I can't imagine starting the season saying, you know what, we have no chance. We have no chance of competing. That's disappointing.
I don't think they think that. I mean, if they,
yes, they do.
Well, let me put it this way. If they think that, then no wonder they're losing.
That's correct. What they decided to do is they want to save money, build for the future. So they're going to give all these young guys who have never played in the major leagues a chance. They're going to try to do it what the Houston Astros did, right? Houston Astros sucked for 7 years, and they just got number one draft pick, and then finally they all made it to Major League Baseball, and they were good, and they won the World Series last year. That's the model that they're following, and I think it's deplorable. They're not even trying to compete for the next 3 or 4 years. And so they're going to go back to being the Devil Rays that lost 100 games a year.
Well, I seem to remember, again, I'm not a sports fan. We do have a call, too. I'll let the caller say something. I seem to remember when the Mets were doing horribly, and my friend in New York, Jimmy McCauley, was a diehard fan. He wasn't going to let go, and then they finally made a comeback. So couldn't that same thing be said for the Rays? Couldn't there be a day somewhere down the line where the fans of today are going to be proud that they stood by their team even in their worst moments?
Yeah, I guess so. If you trust the leadership of the Rays, I personally don't. I mean, their track record speaks for itself. But the problem is it's going to take 6 or 7 years to do that. Honestly, it's going to take 6 or 7 years for them to be competitive.
All right.
At their current rate of what they're doing and what they're trying to accomplish.
All right, they
got rid of Evan Longoria, who was the only star on that team.
I cried that night. I know. Hold on, let me.
Morning, Jess.
Let me go to the phone. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, this is Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, they're talking about baseball and football. There's got to be some winners, and there's going to be some losers. The businessman looks at it as a business venture. If he gets a 23% tax break and can write that off, his bottom line is going to look pretty good. But if there was any team that should have lost fans, it should have been the Chicago Cubs. But look what happened last year. Now all of their whatever they sell, their products, their good, is going up. Now it's going to be worth billions of dollars. So the owners stuck with it for years and years and years. Now they're winners. But you got 32 teams in the baseball league, and all of them can't be winners. But people like to go to the park for other than just to watch baseball. They go out there to meet with their friends and to sit in the sunshine and to have a hot dog and do a lot of other things. And then when an owner buys a team like that and gets control of a stadium, there are other venues he bring in, rock and roll shows and all that stuff. So they're all about baseball. It's about business. Thank you. I'll hang up and just listen to it.
Thank you. I can't let you both talk at the same time because there's a horrible echo, so I apologize for not allowing Galen to interact at the same time. Galen, you want to comment on what he said?
Yeah, I agree with everything he said. The problem is the stadium in Tampa is so bad. There is no sunshine. The grass isn't even green. It's like 7 different colors. It's AstroTurf. They don't bring music groups into there because the acoustics are so horrible in that stadium. So I agree with you. If the ballpark was nice, the ballpark was passable, it'd be fine. But the truth is the Rays are going to average somewhere between 9,000 and 11,000 fans per game. And out of that 9,000 to 11,000, over half are going to be for the other team. You want to talk about the Cubs? What the Cubs did is they were horrible for 100 years. And then they decided that they were going to win, and they hired the right GM, and they hired Theo Epstein. Theo Epstein changed the culture dramatically. He took a team that had lost 95 games and turned them into a World Series champion in 3 years. He did that by spending money, and that's what the Rays refused to do. And he did it with a ballpark that generates less revenue through suites and all these boxes and everything because it's over 100 years old. So you can do it if you have the right leadership. The Rays don't have the right leadership.
There you go. I don't have a clue what else to say. I was just my comment wasn't about anything you said except for fan loyalty. I was always under the impression that fan loyalty was really important to you. It is.
Yeah. It is. But at some point, in order to save my soul from being painfully ripped out every night, hopefully, if you're a Rays fan, I'll give you a ray of hope.
But let me ask you this.
Some of these young guys are good, and that they give you a reason to watch.
There you go.
I don't see it. It's not. Every one of their Major League Baseball players is a cast-off from another organization, a guy who's had a chance, and they think they're going to turn a corner. We'll see.
Do you know, I've never ridden in the car with Galen, but I'm going to predict that if I ever do go on a car trip with him and I bring up baseball, I'm just going to be looking out the window listening.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be listening.
You'll interject.
It'll be like I have the radio on, but with a really clear signal. I got a sports station on. All right, so...
well, I hope they win.
Let me ask you something, though. I have a real serious question for you regarding this. As a Floridian, especially a Central Floridian, don't you really want them to be good?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. The problem, and here's the honest to truth problem. When they came into the league, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, they wanted to be in the AL East. They wanted to be with the Yankees and the Red Sox. So the Yankees and Red Sox would play inside their stadium 18 times a year each, right? Mm-hmm. That's the problem. They're playing against two of the marquee teams who spend money, who have a huge fan base, and expect to win every year. If they would have gone to the AL Central, they would have been much better off. Or if they would have gone to the NL East. But instead, they wanted the Yankees, they wanted the Red Sox, and they wanted to play with the big boys. they will never be as good as the Red Sox and the Yankees, because the Red Sox and Yankees will spend millions and millions of dollars more than me. This year they're spending $200 million. The Red Sox are, and the Yankees have an even bigger payroll. I think their payroll is like $285. So they can't compete. They cannot compete. And then you put together with their leadership that they got rid of everybody who got them to the World Series several years ago. They're done. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish.
All right. Well, there you go. There's our sports segment for the morning. I actually have a blood segment for you for the rest of this visit with you. So let me take the break. We'll go to our sponsors, and when we come back, I found an article online that gives the benefits of blood donation, and I know you've talked about it before, but I like to, every once in a while, focus on what you do for a living, and I thought this was really interesting. So let's take a little break, and we'll be right back with Galen Unold from LifeSouth Community Blood Center. He will remind us on the other side of the break that we need to donate blood. Period. Palm Garden of Ocala makes that announcement possible. Thank you, Palm Garden. They are a health and rehabilitation center. For those who don't know what they are, you might call it a assisted living facility. Some people do that. They are a skilled nursing facility. Those are the important words, skilled nursing. They're at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. See how they can make your life better, how you can regain use of your legs, regain use of your arms. If therapy can help, they can do it. They're at, I just told you, 2700 Southwest 34th Street. Take a tour. Ask questions. Find out for yourself why we recommend Palm Garden. And Penn Flooring, we recommend them also. Completely different business. They sell carpet. They sell flooring. They sold it to us here at WOCA. We are very happy with what we have, and it is as good as new. Of course, I do have a tendency to mess it up, but it cleans up well. So go to Penn Flooring at 1201 Southwest 17th Street. Galen, on the other side, we'll be right back. Let's take the break and play those two commercials for Penn Flooring and Palm Garden, and we'll be right back.
Palm Garden announces Fast Track. Fast Track, focused assessment, safe transition. When a new guest is admitted to Palm Garden, we start with the ABCs. A is the assessment to determine what the guest needs. B is for basic care, which is excellent nursing and therapy. And C is for consistency to provide what's needed throughout the stay. Fast Track. Palm Garden will get you home fast, really, really fast. Take a fast tour of Palm Garden, located at the corner of Southwest 27th Avenue and 34th Street.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
All right, 23 minutes after 8 o'clock. Galen Unold is on the phone, and Galen is, of course, our go-to guy when we have questions about blood, also questions about sports, you could probably guess. And that talent that you just heard coming from Galen, by the way, is why he is our go-to guy when it comes to the fall, when he does the sports announcing for us during the high school football games. So that is a talent not everybody has to do what you just did, Galen. All right, how is the blood supply right now?
Well, again, I know I sound like a broken record, but right there at the 3-day blood supply. Again, our usage is really high right now in the Southeast, and it's going to kind of stay high for a little bit. We just need people to get out there, give the gift of life, and donate blood.
Did you hear, by the way, that there was a new organ discovered in the human body?
You broke up. Say that again?
Did you hear in the news yesterday or this morning that there was a new organ discovered in the human body?
I did see that. I was like, oh, okay. Okay. And all the millions and millions and millions of autopsies they've had, they never found it.
Well, it's they didn't realize it was autonomous. It's a self-functioning thing under the skin. They thought it was just part of the circulatory system or the lymph node system or whatever.
Well, what it shows you is all these people who think we know everything, we don't know anything.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot to learn.
We don't really understand life. We don't understand why life exists, how it exists. We think we know. I think we're just scratching the surface. Obviously, we know more than we did, 20 years ago. But it always amazes me when we're always shocked, whether we find a new animal or a new plant. It's like, oh yeah, we've discovered everything. No, you haven't.
Yeah, right. There's always something. Even when we think know something.
That's why Bigfoot's out there. I think Bigfoot's out there.
Bigfoot is out there.
I'm half kidding. I'm half kidding. I would not be at all shocked if we find Bigfoot. Not at all.
Well, no, there used to be a group of hunters that would go out to the Ocala National Forest, Ronnie and his guys, and then one day one of the hunters came back and went in his truck, and he never came back out there. So he saw something. He didn't know what he saw, but I believe Bigfoot's out there.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about a guy that's normal and
what date
he
was
can
that?
Take care of himself and things like that.
Okay, I was out there. What date was this? I'm just curious.
Back in the 90s.
Oh my gosh, I used to own a coat, Galen. I knew this was going to happen. I used to walk through the Ocala National Forest with this furry coat.
You're a little small for Bigfoot.
No, I'm not. Bigfoot's about my size.
Well, not if you wear high heels. You know those platform shoes like Elton John wears?
No.
Bigfoot's over 7 foot.
Yeah, but when I wear my shoe, yeah, I know. Everybody exaggerates. All right, are you ready for the health benefits? All right,
yes.
This is from a website called organicfacts.net. Galen, we are depending on you to tell us whether we should take this with a grain of salt or completely dismiss it as false. Ready?
Okay. All right.
All right. Health benefits of donating blood. It prevents hemochromatosis. What is that true?
It does actually, yeah. It's and what hemochromatosis is it means you have too much iron in your body. That's a layman's term.
Okay.
Your hematocrit, which consists of the iron in your body, is too high. So when we do this, the finger prick, and then they check your iron level or your hematocrit. So by donating blood, you're getting rid of red cells, and so when you get rid of red cells, you lower your iron. I talk about it all the time. It's like a blood it's like an oil change. And so this is what causes heart disease, is that increased thickness or viscosity of your blood. The older you get, the more viscosity you get. And so by donating blood, you freshen that and force your body to produce new red cells, and therefore your blood viscosity goes down. And it prevents heart disease. And that's why men don't live as long as women, is because of heart disease. One of the reasons. Women have a natural every 28-day cycle of getting rid of red cells.
So you just answered the next one, which is that donating blood helps maintain healthy heart and liver for the same reason,
correct,
because of the iron levels being dropped. Okay.
Yeah, it's just think of it oil change. Blood viscosity. Yep.
All right. The next one is that your blood may flow better. Same reason. Same
blood
reason.
Viscosity.
Okay.
Yeah.
You will get a mini checkup. I know this one is true because we get it. You get a mini checkup.
Yeah, and people really underestimate how important it is to know your blood pressure and know your pulse so that you can track it to see if it changes dramatically or starts to spike up, because usually these things trend. And so, you need to know what your resting pulse rate is, and if it's changing and rising, and same with your blood pressure.
And the last thing is doing good for others is one way to live a longer life. A study in health psychology found that people who volunteered for altruistic reasons had a significantly reduced risk of mortality 4 years later than those who volunteered for themselves alone. So
there you go. And that's what we do at WOCA.
Absolutely, and I've read a lot of studies about it, and if you go down into the psychology, it's because these people are more connected and they have more things to live for. So I think we've all heard the story of somebody who, quit work and then they didn't have any reason to live.
Right.
Volunteering and having people count on you is important. It gives you value, and that's a big reason why these people survive.
Absolutely. And that's what you do every day, Galen. I mean, you volunteer, and you really do a great job for our community.
Thank you. I try.
Today it's baseball and donating blood.
That's right.
Two American pastimes. I mean, now the Rays and the Red Sox play at 4:00 today, so you can come by the blood center, donate platelets, and watch the game at the same time.
You're going to pass out if the Rays win.
I know. They play enough games, they'll win.
You're going to need
today,
blood.
Chris Sale pitches against Chris Archer. Chris Archer could have a great game.
But didn't you say the Red Sox, they're playing against the Red Sox?
Yeah, it doesn't mean they can't beat them on any given day. It is baseball.
All right.
At the end of the season, they're still going to lose 100 games.
I just hope you...
They play 162 of them. They got to win some. No team's ever lost 162.
Robin, do they still sell...
That would be horrible.
Robin, hold on. Do they still sell smelling salts? I'm going to need some for Galen tomorrow.
I believe so,
If the Rays win, I'm going to have to go over to his house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to go to Galen's house.
That's right.
Honestly, the season, because of the Red Sox playing the Marlins and the Red Sox in the first week, Red Sox don't really start until next week when they get it.
Okay. There you go.
True.
They're going to let
I won't
the
know
Rays
any,
win.
and I have a lot of questions about the Red Sox, and none of those questions will be answered this week. So, they're not going to win every game. They're going to lose a game or two.
Well, it does. Christy have her pajamas? Did she get her pajamas out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're set.
She's wearing them today. Yeah, he knows.
All right.
I'm not that easy to live with. I've never said otherwise. I have expectations.
You're amazing. We love you so much.
How many pictures that hang on the wall in your home were chosen by you? How many pictures hanging on the wall were chosen by you?
Ooh, 90% of them.
Oh, 90%? Really?
Nice.
I would have thought 100% was her. Okay. Hey, Galen.
I love pictures. I'm a very visual guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Galen does, and you do a great job on your videos.
But they don't usually pick the pictures.
I take 3,000 to 5,000 pictures a year.
Yeah, but
I love it.
How many are still floating around in the Caribbean, though?
At least 200.
We're on a mission. We'll put the word out.
All right, Galen. Hey, have a good day. Thank you for what you do.
Bringing that up, it's just like salt in my wound.
I didn't bring it up. Your fans brought it up.
How many are floating around in the Caribbean? You didn't just say that?
I did, but that's because your fans brought it up. What, 2 days ago? We had that.
No, hey, but you just opened that scab and it's time to heal.
By the way, I got you some earwax for Easter.
Oh, yuck.
Oh, fantastic.
All right. Thank you, Galen.
All right, bye, all.
Talk to you tomorrow. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Thursday, a pretty sunny day. It'll be warm, too. The high at 80 on the coast, 86 inland. Thursday night.